blessed be. This is White Raven over here. Today's Monday, so happy Magic Monday to all of you guys. Thank you so much for all of you guys that come here into this channel every single Monday, looking for my videos, supporting me with so much love. You guys are truly amazing. Before I go into the video today, I want to say thank you so much for being so patient with me this week. I'm aware that I was very absent from the Facebook page, the comments here, some of the emails. My husband and I were attending some situations in our family, situations, so I was completely disconnected from all social media. So thank you very much. I am back in here. Today I'm with you. Before I go into the spell, I was reading a lot of your emails today, questions, messages, comments, etc., etc. And there's a few things, 3 topics that I want to address. I'm going to put the timestamp over here of where our spell starts. So if you just want to jump into the spell, go ahead and jump into the spell, but I suggest for you to stick around. There's going to be 3 things that I'm going to address really quick. So you may want to stay because you may learn a thing or 2. Which is, in the witchcraft community, there should be 0 judgment. Just because you have not been in a situation does not mean other people have not been in that situation. And let me clear out what I'm talking about. If you are happily married and you have a husband that has never run around with somebody else, listen, don't be judging the women that are trying to do magic to save their marriage, to punish the other woman, or to keep their man at home. You have no idea of the circumstances that some women are living out there. So please don't be quick to judge and do not put hurtful comments in the comments on the videos, because consider yourself lucky if you have a faithful husband, or if you have not encountered yet an evil woman trying to get your man away from you. You have no idea the circumstances of people and how problems develops in people's lives. So please keep your comment to yourself. I get it. I'm happy for you if you live a happy life. Good for you. That is not the situation in a lot of women and men. I mean, I have men and women in this channel. So please make sure to be kind with your comments if you have not experienced some of the situation that I speak about in here. Something else that I want to address, and this is the second topic that I want to speak about, is people that is afraid of doing magic because their thing is going to come back and bite them in the ass. And that is something that I talk a lot about in this channel. I always tell you that justified magic won't come back to you. And what I'm trying to say with that, which is if you are the victim of a bully, for example, and somebody is really hurting you, disrespecting you, abusing you, humiliating you, taking all that pain out of you and send it back to the bully with magic spells is not going to come back to you, because all that pain and that evil does not belong to you. You're merely taking that out of you and send that back to the person that inflicted and put that burden upon you. You're returning things. You are not sending hexes. Another thing altogether is if you do not like someone at work and you just because envy, because she looks better than you, because she has something that you want, whatever it is, like petty stuff. If you're going to hex someone and send something evil, then that's a different whole can of worms, that is not the type of magic that I like to share over here. I'm just teaching you how to defend yourself, protect yourself, and how to reverse the things that people have sent towards you, the pain that people have inflicted upon you, disrespect, humiliation, whatever it is. I'm just trying to show you how to defend yourself and get ahead in life with the use of magic. All right, I'm not teaching you here how to be evil towards other people. That's not what White Raven is all about. It's up to you if you want to do the magic or not. At the end of the day, nobody's telling you to do it and nobody's judging you for not doing it. Okay, now the third topic, which I thought it was a very good question. Last week, I did some oil lamps for you to use in different spells. And somebody asked me a question that was very interesting. White Raven, what is the difference between using a lamp or a skull candle, for example, to command someone? That was a really great question. In magic, there's a lot of ways to create a spell for the same thing. From the use of dolls, candles, burials, jars, condition jars, lamps, possibilities possibilities are endless. You can do so many things. What's most important, which is that you choose what resonates with you. Perhaps you can light a little lamp because you want to be discreet when you're doing this spell. The person that you're working is at home with you, the person that you're trying to command. You don't want people to notice what you're doing. But you cannot do that with a skull candle, right? You really cannot. But perhaps the skull candle is going to get you in that state of mind that you need to do a particular commanding spell. Maybe you want to work specific areas of the brain. I have shared a video here with you guys that is fantastic about using a skull candle. I'll link it somewhere in the description of the video and I'll put it here. Maybe you just want to do a 7-day candle to command a person because you need the assistance of a saint, an angel, a spirit, any type of deity. Maybe you want to do a doll in the liking of your target because it feels more real and you feel like you're actually touching and punishing this evildoer. But the thing is that at the end, the goal is going to be the same. Having said that, I believe that some things are better to use in some spells and in some situations than others. Like for example, I will not be doing a commanding spell with a skull candle for my unruly child if I just want my child to behave. On the same token, I would not be using a little oil lamp to command, right, a drug addicted family member or a loved one. So to answer the question, at the end, it will come down to what you feel is right and what will complement your magic best. So you're going to have a lot of styles and a lot of way to do a spell, but there's going to be a specific style that is going to resonate better with your magic, with the purpose and your intentions, right? So that's the one that you should be using. So let's talk about the spell that I have for you today. Today I'm going to share with you a very nasty hex powder for a curse. So take note because it's pretty nasty powder. And also I'm going to show you the ultimate voodoo doll. Now witches, remember that voodoo doll pertains to dolls that are done in the religion of voodoo. That is not necessarily the name of these dolls, but unfortunately this is the name that most people recognize and understand these dolls by. This is puppet magic. This is doll magic. Please know this. I'm going to refer to this doll as a voodoo doll just based on the fact this is the most common knowledge when it comes to dolls. But please understand that the correct term for this is a doll, a puppet. All right. The thing is that across all the books that I read and I'm always studying, this particular doll comes as the classic, most nasty hex doll. And I'm going to share how to make it. It's not rocket science. It's going to be very easy. I'll tell you whatever it is that we need. A lot of you guys ask me, why Raven, how do I curse somebody with a voodoo doll and whatnot? Well, I'm going to give you these guidelines. I'm going to give you this blueprint on how you can actually punish using a voodoo doll. Now, this doll, which is the picture that I have over here, that doll is over 2,000 years ago. And it was discovered in Thebes. I'm sorry, I'm going to put the name of the city here because I don't know how to pronounce it. In Greece. She dates from the 3rd or 4th century. So that's very long time ago. And she was found inside a clay vessel. And it also had a defection on it. I have shared with you already 2 videos on what defections are. And these are ancient spells and hexes. I'm also going to put in the description of the video the link for those videos so you can see as well. These defections and these hexes and curses were discovered by archaeologists, and they were digging up in these ancient cities in Egypt, Rome, Greece, and they discovered all these type of hexes and curses. So back in that time, people were still doing curses just like we do today. There were love spells, there were curses, there were spells for absolutely everything that you can imagine. The same thing that we suffer today, they used to suffer back then. All right. And so these archaeologists took the time to decipher in the best way that they could these spells. And we have these spells in this book, the Greek Magical Papyri in translation. Again, I have shared this with you, and there's another little booklet, but I don't have it at hand right now. There's 2 of them. I put the link of where to get them in the description of the video as well. They're very interesting. I am going to show you how to build that doll so you can have these blueprints for whenever you need to do a really nasty hex. Before we go into the doll, let's get into the recipe of your hex powder. Okay, witches, so this is the recipe for the evil curse powder. And needless to say, this is going to be a powder that you are going to create when you really need to inflict bad punishment into someone. You can use it in this doll, you can use it in candles, you can use it in little bags. You can sprinkle this across where the person walks. The sky is the limit. So take notes because I'm going to give you right now the ingredients. You're gonna need a little blue in squares. I have these ones in the website. You're gonna need, which is a very hot chili pepper. This one in particular is chile de árbol. You don't have to have this one, but you wanna have an extremely hot chili pepper. Next, which is you are going to need peppercorns, all the colors, all right? You're also going to need ant hill dirt. It's from Florida, so that's why it's sand, because everywhere in Florida is sand. If you have any dirt dauber nest, then you can use that. And last, which is we are going to need some cayenne pepper. We're going to be using very nasty stuff, so please make sure that when you are grinding these, you go outside and you do not breathe while you're grinding because it's going to be extremely irritant for your nose. I'll share this one with you guys, so any of the orders that I get in the next week will receive some of this powder. It looks pretty awesome, so there you go, witches. That's the recipe. I hope you get to use it well. Okay, witches, so what are the things that we're going to need for the spell? You can have a voodoo doll like this made out of felt. You can make it out of fabric. Just make sure that if you are going to use this powder, make sure that you put it inside. Remember that voodoo dolls need to be baptized, meaning you are going to breathe life into this doll. This doll has to have links of the evildoer that we are punishing inside. You're going to again baptize it, breathe life into it, and name it the same name as your target before you proceed with your spell. So you can have something like this, or you can use air clay. I have used this before with you guys. These almost feel like Play-Doh. This one is going to dry with air. It gives you a lot of time for you to shape and form this voodoo doll. I already created mine, which is the one that I'm going to use. This one right here. You're going to need your magical scissors. If you do not have magical scissors, you can use any scissors. You're going to need some black cord. You're going to use your powder. You're going to need 13 pins. This one's I paint with a Sharpie. You can paint them with paint or whatever you want, but you're gonna need 13 pins, and I did paint in black. All right. Also, witches, if you don't have a specific link from your target, you can use a brown paper. Please make sure to write their name and last name and all the information that you have about this person, so you can link this door to the person. And on top of his name or her name, you're going to put whatever it is that you want for this person to go through. If he's suffering, illness, craziness, poverty, hunger, you're gonna put it in here. All right. Or simply, you can put I hex you, I curse you, I cross you, I bind you, I banish you, whatever it is that you need. All right, witches. So if you know the gender of this individual, then you're going to make sure that you do the gender here and you do the gender here. If you do not know the gender, then it just simply does not matter. But if you do, it is always good to add that into your doll. As a matter of fact, the original doll was a female. So what I'm going to do now, I am going to write over here the name of the person and what I want. Okay, once you finish, if this is what you're doing as well, cut your little paper. Let's do a little roll. Very small, because you want to put this witches inside the dolly. We can put it in the head. I'll put it in there. I'm gonna add more of this. If you actually, witches, have just regular clay, you can definitely do this in regular clay and that will look so awesome as well. I am going to sprinkle some of this powder. Think about what you want, what you're doing this, okay? This is the front of my doll. And of course, you don't have to have this powder to punish this doll. If you want confusion into this person and you want to add poppy seeds and black mustard seeds, that's different. It depends what type of punishment you're going to do to this person, right? The next thing that we're going to do, which is we are going to cut some of our cord, because I am going to turn my doll around and I am going to bind his hands in the back like that. Also, witches, you are going to do the same thing with his legs. Pretend this person is almost on his knees or on her knees. And this is how you want this person to dry. All right, so this is the front. Let me get my other voodoo doll here. Now, hear me out, which is the first pin is going to be in the crown, this person's head. Chant your petition. Next one, which is each eye. Next, which is each ear. Next, which is the mouth. Next, which is the chest. Next, which is the pelvic area. Turn it around, which is next. One pin on each hand. Make sure that you are doing your chants while you're doing that. Next, which is each foot. And last, which is the butt area. Right up there. No mercy. Here's your doll. Completely pierce everywhere. And this is coming from over 2,000 years ago. You are going to either bury your doll, you're going to put it in a jar, you're going to let it dry and then destroy it. You can just throw it in water. You can do many things with this doll, witches. At the end of the day, it depends on what type of hex you are performing on this particular doll. What is your objective with this magic? This is it, witches. This is your most iconic voodoo doll, and this is a blueprint for you to follow when you want to finalize a person, finish the person, punish an evildoer that deserve the worst punishment. And trust me, witches, there's a lot of people out there that deserve this and more. Just leaving that out there. No judgment, witches. I hope that you enjoy this spell, and I hope that this serves you well, and I hope that you do this responsibly. Stay wicked. And that's it, witches. Thank you so very much for being here with me yet another Monday. Thank you so much for your support, for your love. Remember to visit my website, whiteravenandwitcheslayer.com. I'll put the QR code right over here. I have awesome products for you to do your magic. And remember that the next orders, I'll be putting some of that powder that we made today together that really, which is, hold on, it's a nasty powder, so please make sure to use it responsible. And these are very old recipes, okay, which is, so be responsible. I'll give you this, make sure that you use it for the right individual. There's always an evildoer out there that deserves stuff like this. Don't use it for pity stuff, okay? So whiteravenandwitcheslayer.com. I am happy to assist you with all your magical endeavors. Last, oh my god, it's getting cloudy, really cloudy. Last, you can also visit me in Facebook, White Raven and Witcheslayer. Remember that I do not answer emails anymore in my Yahoo emails. I don't go there no more, so please don't go there, witches. You can email me in my website, okay? That's the only place that you're going to be able to reach me. Other than that, witches, I love sharing this type of stuff with you. Thank you so much for your patience this week. Remember to stay very smart, witches, because knowledge is power. You need to read, you need to learn, you need to experiment and analyze everything that you read. Make sure that it makes sense in your head. But above all that, with all that knowledge, witches, you must stay so very wicked. Bye.